GT Top 10 Fighting Games. Brought to you by Fighting.
Fighting games are like cockroaches. No matter what kind of disasters befall the gaming industry, they live on. And the amount of time it's taken for some genres to come and go, mano-a-mano combat remains a foundation of the industry. Determining the quality of a fighting game is truly a test of time. It can take years to determine its true worth. Only then can you accurately say whether the characters are balanced or if any advancements are truly that. The following 10 entries remain engaging, in some cases, decades after their release. They've sent us to the change machine far too many times and fostered living room trash talk that would make our mothers blush.
Kano wins.
Number 10. Killer Instinct.
Rare is really known for its cute, cuddly mascots and super slick secret agents, but its lone fighting franchise built quite a legacy despite few releases. The wild cast includes Glacius, B. Orchid, Spinal, and the mechanical Fulgore, but the real draw was the extensive combo system, which let players link together dozens of attacks and two incredible combo strings, unless their opponent pulled off a stunning combo break. This rapid-fisted fighter was released for the Super Nintendo, the arcade, the Game Boy, and the Nintendo 64. It's been well over a decade since the last release, yet fans still hold out hope for a comeback.
Number 9. Mortal Kombat.
Back in 1992, when Hadouken echoed loudly in arcades everywhere, Western-developed Mortal Kombat turned heads with its chest-plunging spears, head-ripping fatalities, and spike-filled hits. Fans embraced the unique stop animation visuals, blood-soaked violence, and performing gruesome fatalities. Mortal Kombat 2 birthed babalities, friendships, and more ways to mutilate your foe than we dared hope for. It stumbled a little clumsily into 3D, but a deeper combat engine and unlikely matchups against the DC Universe managed to keep it relevant. Its 2D roots will always have a soft spot in our toasty hearts.
Number 8. Tekken.
Though Sega's Virtua Fighter beat it out of the gates as the first 3D fighter, the Tekken franchise managed to remain a cut above its rival during the 90s. Literally translated as Iron Fist, Namco's fighting powerhouse assaulted Japanese arcades back in 1994 with its unique combat system that required players to rely heavily on strategy and timing. With so many moves, noobs inevitably put up a worthy challenge, but it also provided the dedicated with plenty to dig into. Unlike the flashier fireball-tossing styles found in Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, Tekken's mechanics were rooted in real-life martial arts. The series gave rise to some notable faces, such as the lion-masked King, the sexy Nina Williams, the android Jack, and the fearsome bear Kuma.
Number 7. King of Fighters.
The other half of a legendary feud with the Street Fighter franchise, the King of Fighters series slugged its way onto our list as a veritable Hatfield to Capcom's McCoy. But if imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, then Iori Yagami and his crew of carefully coiffed compadres were more than just imitators. They were innovators. With more than a dozen complex systems spanning its 15-year history, King of Fighters stuck on our list as the undisputed technician of the fighting game world. The series has since made nice with its once bitter rival, and all eyes are fixed on the upcoming 12th installment to see if it can finally take the crown once and for all.
Number 6. Soul Calibur.
After creating an interesting weapon-based fighter with Soul Edge, Namco followed up with a killer blow in the form of Soul Calibur. Impressive technology and compelling character design meshed with flashy but solid gameplay. Newcomers could easily pull off incredible moves and deliver convincing beatings, but there was still plenty of room for high-level play. While the game skewed a bit more casual of late, it went all out with bonus features, extra modes like Create a Character, and plenty of sex appeal.
You win! Kali Yuga, show me the way!
If you're a veteran on the stage of history, you know that the soul still burns for a reason.
Number 5. Capcom's Versus.
With legendary superheroes, famous Capcom fighters, and the combo insanity that gave new meaning to the phrase curly mustache, Capcom's Versus series is over-the-top fun at its finest. Versus reached its pinnacle with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, a game insanely loose and broken. It's both supremely accessible for casual play and bizarrely balanced for competitive play. With multiple characters on each team, constant partner swapping, assist attacks, and multiple screen-filling supers going off at once, Versus often achieved sensory overload. Even though the game is almost a decade old, it's still being played in this year's EVO Championship.
Number 4. Guilty Gear.
Picking up from where Darkstalkers left off was the uniquely flamboyant Guilty Gear series. Headlined by metal maestro Daisuke Ishiwatari, the stylish dose of guilty pleasure made its name on balls-to-the-walls action and an unmistakable glam rock attitude that permeated each of its hand-drawn frames. The latest rumblings behind this rock-inspired rumbler put it in uncertain territory, rumored to be scalped off to Sega. But with Arc System Works picking up the slack with Blaze Blue, it won't be long until a proper follow-up act hits the fighting game stage.
Number 3. Samurai Showdown.
Soul Calibur took weapon-based combat into the third dimension, but the first fighting series to nail it was Samurai Showdown. SNK's brawler for the Neo Geo allowed you to temporarily disarm your foes and even use animal sidekicks to jump into the fray. Hot on the heels of Mortal Kombat, it also allowed you to finish your opponents in bloody displays of justice. Featuring an incredibly diverse set of characters that appeal to just about everyone and inventive weapons, few fighting games matched its ingenuity and diversity. The series took a downturn of late as SNK got lazy, but there are no other fighting games from its original era that still hold up to this day like Samurai Showdown.
Number 2. Virtua Fighter.
Sega's Virtua Fighter not only gave fighting games an impressive technological upgrade with polygons and three-dimensional movement, it soon evolved into one of the most technical and challenging games available. A button masher's worst nightmare, the multi-layered strategy and difficult execution of Virtua Fighting has kept it from being as popular as other fighting games. But for those looking for depth, balance, and fierce competition in 3D, throwing down with intricate fighting styles ranging from Akira Yuki's Hakio Kuken to Vanessa Lewis's Vale Tudo is the ultimate test of fighting skill. There are no flaming punches or elaborate finishers, but if you're truly serious about fighting games, it doesn't get much more serious than Virtua Fighter.
Number 1. Street Fighter.
As this countdown has shown, more than a few contenders have made it big in the ring, but no one can forget that it all started in the streets. Street Fighter single-handedly spawned a generation of fighters with crisp graphics, memorable characters, and classic quintessential gameplay. There's a reason that a game from more than 15 years ago is still being used in tournaments around the globe. We question if there has ever been a fighting game with better balance and a greater roster of pugilists. Going 20 years strong, the Street Fighter series stands firm as a true vanguard for the genre, making it the greatest fighting franchise of all time.